Listen, I'm gonna tell you exactly where the money is. The money is in dollar accounts, store related accounts. Take your pick: Dollar Tree, Dollar General, Family Dollar, any dollar account. That's where the money's at. These companies are throwing huge sign-on bonuses, number one, but number two, the weekly pay. We're talking about 14, 15. I've even recently seen a account that was local paying $2,000 a week. And that was actually a store related account. So all accounts that are related to store related accounts, these are the accounts that are paying the most money. So don't let anybody trick you into that. Company driving is where it is at. If you are company driving, you're pulling for, these large companies, store accounts like Walmart, Target, and again, any of these dollar related accounts, this is where the money is at. Don't let anybody fool you. And intermodal is booming. I understand people say, hey, they're backed up at the ports and everything like that, which is true. They are backed up at the ports. Now, depending on what port you're talking about, I'm not 100% sure how much they're backed up at the port. I'm not sure. But when we're talking about job offers, a lot of local opportunity and a lot of regional opportunity as well is with these accounts. If I was a company driver, I'm going to be looking at either store related accounts, meaning dollar accounts, or mega stores, the Walmarts, the Targets, the Costco's, the Lidl's got they are paying. And again, intermodal too. Intermodal is absolutely gone, absolutely crazy. So people say it's backed up. The companies are hiring like madmen for intermodal drivers. So I'm assuming that they have a plan on how they're going to, uh, unclog the port, so to say. But right now, the money is in company driving. Now they are lease purchase companies. There's only one. There's only one lease purchase company that I actually recommend. You can call the number below. There's only one lease purchase company I recommend, because the problem is with lease purchase is what happens is that let's say if you decided to take a vacation or you had to take some time off, you're sick, you have that purchase payment that's the same like a car payment every month that's coming. Drivers go into debt, they end up owing the company money. I've been on the phone with plenty of drivers that this has happened to. They've actually owed the company more money than their paycheck, so their paycheck is in a negative. But there's only one lease purchase company that I recommend where it does not go by a monthly truck lease payment. It actually goes by how many miles you drive. So that way, if you wanted to go on vacation, you don't have to say, "Oh man, my truck payment is coming up." I got to make sure I can pay that while I'm on vacation, which makes absolutely no sense, right? So this is the only one I know is kind of a pay-as-you-go type situation. So it's based on the amount of mileage that you drive that you would actually have to your actual monthly lease payment is derived on. So you could actually go on a 2-week, 3-week vacation. 3 weeks, right? Who goes on 3 weeks? But I'm just saying that in theory, you really could. But again, let's go back. Store accounts. These are the places to go. If I'm a company driver, I'm gunning for store accounts. I'm gunning for a dollar account. Again, some of these dollars accounts you have to touch. Some of them you do not. And of course, store accounts, if you're talking about these big ones, these Walmarts, these Targets, you don't have to touch anything. You don't have to touch anything. So company accounts, dollar, store related, lease purchase, only one company that I suggest that you can actually drive and not have to be under the gun with the lease payment. I have a story. I had a driver one time that I talked to on the phone, and he said, "Hey man, I make 6 figures every year, and only thing I do is lease payments." And I'm like, lease purchase. And I'm like, "What do you mean?" He said, "Yeah, I've been doing lease purchase for the last, 10 years. And I'm just like, "Really?" And I was like, "You don't want to own the truck?" He said, "No, I don't want to own the truck. I want the money." And I said, "Well, what are you doing?" And he said, "Well, what I do is that I run OTR, right?" And he said, "I stay away from reefer." He said, "Do not do reefer, freight." Because he said that, your gas is, whatever, the gas is, it's too costly on the gas, right? The gas ends up eating into your profit. So, so what he's saying is this: hey, do dry freight, do OTR. And he said that's how you can bang it out every year. Do $100,000 minimum, and go from there. Because he said, listen, I don't want the problems, because if the truck breaks, he said they fix it because I'm in a lease program and I always get the warranty or the company covers it. But he said I don't want the headache of owning a truck, but I do want to be treated like a independent business owner and keep the most of the profit, right? And that's what he was doing. He was keeping the profit versus a paycheck. So, I mean, in that case, that brother was very smart about, he had his goal, right? He knew what he wanted to earn, and he wasn't afraid of being over the road. And on top of that, he knew how to work the system. He was saying, hey man, I can just drive as a business owner and keep the profit versus owning my own truck, having to deal with this, having to deal with that, and then I just turn it in and just get another lease purchase program. And he would jump from company to company, or he would stay with whichever one, as long as things worked in his favor. So again, that was just a quick story on thinking about different options, just because you go with the lease purchase. And most lease purchases, they do let you actually walk away. But this guy, he didn't care. He was always going to walk away, right? It was just like, man, this is just a part of doing business. So, hey, that's it. Have a good one, y'all.